It's really tough. I think every Olympic cycle, there's a story of a snub.
I was just of the mindset that Caitlin Clark needed to be on this team.
There were many people who were cheering against Team USA today because they wanted Caitlin Clark on that team, and they wanted a reason to point to that Caitlin Clark should have been on that team.
He was saying, you know, it proves the reason for keeping Caitlin Clark off the team since they won the gold medal.
Now that the U.S. has gold, is the U.S. vindicated in keeping her off of that team?
Yeah. There's vindication that happens by winning, obviously. The ultimate goal in the Olympics is to win gold.
Looking at the Olympic run, I don't think this justifies the reason for having Diana Taurasi and Chelsea Gray on the squad.
They won gold, so I think they're okay with that. Obviously, there are people and detractors who, from the beginning, thought that Caitlin Clark should be on that team. And that's all fine and dandy. We all understand that conversation. But the conversation should be the USA women has now won 8 Olympic gold medals in a row. Their dominance has been cemented. And yes, a big what if. A big what if France wins that game and USA loses. And then this conversation would be on an astronomically different plane.
They were balling poorly over there. I mean, y'all saw the numbers. That was my biggest thing about the whole Olympic roster. Chelsea was still, I feel like she's still hurting. She can't even sprint up the court. I'm not even trying to clown on her, you feel me? I'm just straight up saying you didn't need to send them.
And as dominant as USA basketball has been, she said they have a healthy fear for this Nigerian team.
I mean, I get it. Maybe you were just trying to get them that gold medal. Everybody who was saying Caitlin Clark should be on the team, we already knew they were going to win the gold.
Now, I didn't quite understand how you bench Diana Taurasi, how you can't find any time for one of the greatest players ever, who can shoot, by the way. You needed some long-range snipers, and Team USA had problems with it. They just lucky their defense is so damn elite.
But we knew for sure Caitlin Clark could go over there and ball out. That's what we knew.
13,000-plus people that showed up at some of Team USA's games for the women. When over 20,000 were showing up for other games. Box office matters. I ain't apologizing for that to a damn soul. We want to act like it doesn't matter, but it does.
Nobody was saying they were going to lose the gold without her, so it don't prove anything. And then he was saying the talk should be that the women have won their 8th straight gold medal, and we all know why that's not the talk. I've shown plenty of vids on the reason why the WNBA gotta work on getting their fan base back. Nah, the talk shouldn't be them getting their 8th straight gold medal, because we told them before the Olympics even started that nobody was gonna care about it. I mean, I don't know why it's so hard for people to grasp that understanding, that ideology, that the reason nobody's caring is because the WNBA ruined their own rep.
Attendance is down. Viewership is down. Guess what? Nobody gives a rat's ass. Not even a dead rat's ass about WNBA players playing in the Olympics. Well, Stephen A. Smith chimed in on it, and he chimed in, I think, very adroitly.
See, we want to act like marketing and business don't play a role in all of this. That's why you should have had Caitlin Clark.
I'm a fan of the game, aight? I'm real happy they won gold. Shout out to the USA team, way to bring it home, but I already knew nobody was gonna care about it. So the first thing mentioned was how the reporters were bummed and puzzled about why Caitlin Clark wasn't there, and honestly, they were just let down because they wanted to interview her, and it's not shocking. I don't know why they're acting surprised that only 18 reporters showed up. We know what the audience wanted, and y'all chose not to deliver, so none of the disappointments should be a shock. I don't get why it's hard for folks to see that Caitlin Clark is the top guard right now.
She has the vision to find her teammates, defending her. You are in constant contradiction with yourself when you're guarding Caitlin Clark. She also has to sit there like she can't hear us talking about her, which is handling wonderfully. Caitlin, proud of you on all fronts, but proud of you for handling this.
I don't know what else I need to show you, but I'll break it down again. Maybe some of y'all missed my previous videos proving that Caitlin Clark is killing it, so here's the evidence again.
There was so much controversy. Caitlin should be on this team. Caitlin Clark shouldn't be on this team. You've been a part of it, and then people talked about it's the team, and you mentioned you don't have time to play together. Did Team USA miss the boat in not putting Caitlin Clark on this team? You know, it's really tough. I think every Olympic cycle, there's a story of a snub, and it is because the talent is so great. Yeah. I could sit here and make an argument for her being on the team, but that would require me to take somebody off. And when I look at this roster,
I don't see myself doing that. If Caitlin had made the team and somebody else had gotten snubbed,
right,
and I could have made that argument, I would have looked at the roster and I wouldn't have been able to take anybody off. So that's the challenge of picking the U.S. women's basketball team. That's why we win gold, and that's why I'm hoping to see another one.
Caitlin Clark's performance in basketball is evaluated across several key statistical categories: points, rebounds, assists, blocks, three-pointers made, and steals.
I'm sure Caitlin Clark's about to make a lot of money.
She's earning her money right now.
No, Caitlin's balling right now. I mean, I don't have a box score, but at one point, is this where we talk about her being our child?
Oh.
All right, I'm going to let you deal with it. You're the mom.
This is our firstborn, Caitlin Clark. As you can see, she has the passing ability of Shoshana Bird. She has the pull-up. She has long distance range, like middle linebacker Taurasi. And she has the swaggy competitiveness of both of us.
These statistics can be categorized into offensive and defensive metrics. In terms of offensive performance, points are the primary measure. Clark currently ranks 12th in points scored and 19th in rebounds. Although her assists ranking is not specified, she ranks 15th in blocks. In three-pointers made, she excels with a ranking of 5th, and she is also 12th in steals. Overall, Clark is in the top 20 across all these statistical categories, indicating her versatility and effectiveness as a player. When comparing Clark to other top guards in the league, it is noted that one guard ranks 3rd in points and 8th in assists, but does not appear on the blocks chart. Jewel Lloyd is also mentioned as not being ranked in blocks. Other guards, such as Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young, are identified as not outperforming Clark across the board. To be considered the best guard, a player must rank in the top 20 in every statistical category rather than excelling in just one or two. Clark's selection for the Olympic team is based on her comprehensive performance, affirming her status as a leading guard in the league.
I have to congratulate Iowa on an incredible season. Awesome, awesome. And I want to personally thank Caitlin Clark for lifting up our sport. She carried a heavy load for our sport, and it just is not going to stop here on the collegiate tour. But when she is the #1 pick in the WNBA draft, she's gonna lift that league up as well. So Caitlin Clark, if you're out there, you are one of the GOATs of our games, and we appreciate you.
Shifting to our second topic, Leslie had one of the wildest opinions about this game.
They're going to have to do a much better job of executing in this second half and find a way to dig real deep. Yeah. I was hoping Diana Taurasi would get in the game. She needs some threes, but they're going to find a way.
Seriously, we're going to dive into it all. So first up, I want to share what Lisa Leslie mentioned during the halftime analysis.
I would, if I was coaching, I would definitely put Diana Taurasi in the lineup, just to, even though her defense is not as strong as it used to be, to settle the offense. But she's a player who can come in, get us a few buckets, help us to calm down a little bit. They're moving so fast.
And it really highlights I admire her, but it seems like she's not keeping up with the games. Alright, so you've probably caught wind of what Lisa Leslie had to say, right? Honestly, Diana Taurasi wasn't really contributing to this game. I'm just being real here. I have a ton of respect for Lisa Leslie. She's a total icon and the first female basketball player I admired. But there's a reason Diana was sitting on the bench, no doubt about it. The US team was kind of their own worst enemy. They racked up 19 turnovers overall, and 14 of those were by halftime. Their shooting was off too. Asia was missing shots she usually nails, and once I noticed that, I thought, this is going to be a nail-biter. But credit where it's due. France made it challenging for them. Their offense, though, it just wasn't clicking. They went 0 for 9 in the second half, but kept launching threes, which baffled me. It was a fight until the very end, especially with the final score being just a 1-point difference. Gabby was really stepping up. She nearly pushed them into overtime. France forced the USA to play their style, and honestly, Copper was the standout player of the match. The commentators were also a bit amusing during this game. One lady mentioned how the US was getting all the calls saying Asia should practically live at the free throw line with all those fouls. But let's not forget, Asia had just hit someone in the head without a whistle, leading to a free three-pointer for the other team. So the officiating seemed pretty balanced overall. Losing by just 1 point, that's something to be proud of. It was an exciting game. Congrats to the USA for bringing home the gold. I do think France's offense could have been sharper, but they didn't look outmatched either. Gotta give Michael Burpo some credit for that. I'm really looking forward to the season kicking off soon. What's the start start date Friday. So the idea is that all the countries in the world, aside from the USA, could team up, right? And then they'd face off against the USA.
Indiana's not a team that's hung their hat on their defense to this point. Official announcement has not been made by USA Basketball, so it'd be premature for me to have any conversations about any player or anything.
Not putting Caitlin Clark on the U.S. women's basketball team is one of the biggest failures of basic business.
This has led to speculation that having Clark and Reese on the roster could have significantly boosted attendance. Despite the concerns about attendance at some international games, the WNBA has experienced a remarkable surge in viewership and attendance this season, largely attributed to Clark's influence.
We thought Ionescu was going to do it. We've seen Swoops and Candace Parker and Cynthia Cooper and others and Lisa Leslie. You know, we've seen so many great female players. Della Don and all of them. They've been fantastic. But I have not seen anyone in women's basketball that's more marketable than what's coming. I didn't say what's here.
The WNBA All-Star Game saw a record-breaking 3.4 million viewers, tripling the numbers from the previous year. Additionally, the Indiana Fever, Clark's team, has been a standout, with over 16,000 fans attending their games on average.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. I thought we came in here and we competed hard. That was the thing. Like, we knew they were going to want to win, so we came out with the same mindset of wanting to win. I think we were down 2 at halftime, and I thought we started the third quarter really strong, and that's what kind of set the tone for that whole second half. And then never hurts when Enrique gets really hot like that. It's just kind of like give her the ball and let her do her thing. And that's probably the main reason we won was because of her. So
this is a stark contrast to previous seasons, where attendance figures were much lower. Clark's impact is undeniable. She has been a catalyst for increased interest in the league. The WNBA has reported that 14 of the 16 most watched games this season involve the Fever, and the league has set multiple viewership records across various networks. For instance, the Fever's game against the Chicago Sky attracted 2.25 million viewers, marking the highest viewership for a WNBA game in over 2 decades.
Fans filed in from the rain, whether they were season ticket holders.
They're fun to watch. You'll have a good time if you come and watch them.
Or they made the trip up from the metro.
We love watching Caitlin Clark, and she's really fun, and all the players on the team are really fun to watch, and we really enjoy watching them.
This surge is not just a flash in the pan. It reflects a broader trend of growing interest in women's basketball, driven by the excitement surrounding new talent like Clark and Reese.
I was those little girls. I was always begging my dad to take me to basketball games, college basketball games. No matter what it was, really, I always wanted to be around the game.
Clark continues to rack up stats on the court, which will make her a record breaker.
The WNBA's current marketing strategies have also capitalized on this momentum, with the league broadcasting a significant number of games nationally and promoting its star players. The league's chief growth officer acknowledged the Caitlin Clark effect.
The sport of basketball, and what she's done for women's sports, period, it's amazing.
The WNBA, the professional league, is it's growing amazing. Like, I just can't believe they're selling out, and I love it. It's awesome.
Go Fever, let's go! Triple-double, first rookie!
Noting that her presence has opened the door to new fans and increased average viewership numbers. This renewed interest has led to a substantial increase in merchandise sales, further highlighting the economic impact of star players on the league. Stephen A. Smith was totally right about Brittany Griner getting snubbed. Everyone's talking about it. The WNBA and the people picking the team are super close, and even the boss, Adam Silver, wasn't happy. Someone on the committee for the 2028 Olympics said it was a big mistake to leave her off. It's hard to believe it's anything else but jealousy from Asia Wilson, Diana Taurasi, and Cheryl Reeve. Seth Greenberg, that ESPN guy who used to coach college ball, says he hasn't watched a single second of women's basketball. Can you imagine? He's a total basketball nerd, too.